Good evening, everyone. It's great to see you here. Today is Tuesday, August 3rd. We're going to begin the Madison City Council meeting as presented in the agenda with the Lord's Prayer and Pledge of Allegiance. So if you please rise, bow your heads, and remove your hats. I'd appreciate it. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, which we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, thank you. We have a good agenda tonight, so clerk, if you could do a roll call, please.
Sure. Tevenoff, here. Creech.
Here.
Rampy.
Here.
Chatham.
Here.
Bartlett.
Here.
And Lucy and Dan DiTillo have excused absences.
Okay. And council, are there any modifications or amendments to the meetings of the last meeting? Minutes of the last meeting, excuse me. What did I say? Meeting of the last minutes.
Yep.
Hearing none? No. Have a motion to approve the minutes, please?
I move to approve the minutes from the July 20th meeting.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you. Moving on to the agenda. I'd like to invite Hannah Fagen here to recognize our 2021 interns.
All right, some of our interns are actually, one of our interns actually interned for us in 2020, in the fall of 2020. But I'm actually going to invite our interns up who are here, so come on.
Don't be shy.
You guys can just stand over there. In no order, just however I grab them. So one of our interns, and she's not here tonight, is Jenna Armstrong. She actually worked for Mindy on some HR projects. She graduated with a human resource development degree. She's actually going to be starting for us next week too as the HR generalist working under Mindy. So it was a great opportunity for her to be here at City Hall and for us to get to know her, and we ended up making her a job offer. So she is not here, but we appreciate all the work she did this past summer, I'd say. Yep. And then we have Abigail Helm. So her sister interned for us last year, and then Abigail came and interned for us this past spring. She attended Shaw, and they had their school internship program that they did, so she reached out and did her internship with my department. She is going off to school for to study marketing, and she was a big help with when we moved over to our new website, like making sure we were pulling data from our old website so we didn't lose everything, updating our database of contacts, working on like Canva posts, which is when you see us do the little bit fancy thing on Facebook. We usually use Canva for those, so she worked a lot on those. So Abigail, step up here. We have a certificate for you. And the certified by Abigail Gill is being acknowledged for her work as a City of Madison intern during the spring of 2020. We appreciate your hard work and recognize your dedication to the future of Madison. Thank you. Next we have Brady Jackson, who's not here tonight. I believe he's on vacation, as long as his dad took him with him this time. But Brady, he worked as an IT intern. He has built many of the computers here for the City of Madison, and he came and spent the entire summer with us, just helping to improve our technology and our needs, and even created a help desk where on our computers here we can shoot him over an email to say, hey, we're having an issue with this, and he gets an email, he can get it sorted out. He even has, I believe, figured out remote access in case that's ever needed, to where he can just access our computers and help us with those issues. So he's really smart, and he's only a junior this year at Shaw, so not even a college kid. He is at Shaw. Next, we have Katie Royce. So Katie, again, interned under me. She worked, again, for school. She went to Madison, graduated, and during the spring she came and worked under me for her school internship. She did the same as Abby, helped us with our website updates, helped us with Canva posts, helped us with Facebook, all of that. She recently changed her major and is now going off to school for elementary education. So Katie.
Good job, Katie.
Katie acknowledged for her work as a City of Madison intern during the spring of 2020. We appreciate your hard work and recognize your dedication to the future of Madison. Thank you, Katie. Next we have Ashlyn White. So Ashlyn interned for me in the fall of 2020, and she primarily helped with a lot of our events, and there's no kids. She helped write letters from Santa Claus. So that was a big thing.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah. She helped Santa. She was one of his elves. That was one of the things that we kicked off just because of the COVID year and making it special for the kiddos. So she was a big help with those torturous letters. No offense, but
They were great.
we had a ton of kids write to Santa Claus. So it was overwhelming, and she helped with that. She also has helped with numerous other city events. And ever since interning in the fall, which started around the Halloween festival, she's stepped in whenever I need help with events, and she's also worked on our website, created forms, all sorts of things. So she's been a great team member. Ashley. I forgot to mention, she's going to school for business administration. So Ashley White is being acknowledged for her work as a City of Madison intern during the fall of 2020. We appreciate your hard work and recognize your dedication to the future of Madison. Thanks, Ashley. And we have one more. So we have Keely White, which is actually Ashlyn's older sister. Keely is going to be a senior this year as a public relations major. She came this spring, and that girl knows what she's doing. She's done all of our, she took over running our Facebook. She scheduled that post for Christmas parade, stuff way into the future just so we're set. She's helped with, she really knows how to work, she figured out Constant Contact, which is our newsletter platform. She was a really big help with those sort of things because that is her area more so of expertise. So we appreciated having her, but she was not able to join us tonight. That is all our interns.
I just want to say thank you. It's been a lot of fun having interns and you guys, and last year as well. You all brought a lot of energy and fun to the office. And as Hannah was describing, a lot of what they did, involved the community outreach, community relations, improving our website, a lot of event coordination, fundraising, things that helped us reach out into the community in a more impactful way, particularly last year, during a really, really difficult year. So you guys brought a lot of, like I said, energy and excitement to City Hall, and hopefully you also gained a bit of perspective as to, what happens in city government and all of the different lives that we touch across the community in so many different ways. And I know if we wanted to have our own sitcom, we probably could. It's a combination of West Wing and Parks and Recreation and The Office, all three of those together. But you made it a lot of fun. We are going to miss you, so the door is always open for you to come back. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, moving on. Joe, turn it over to you for our first resolution.
First resolution is resolution number 49-2021, resolution of the Common Council of the City of Madison, Indiana, accepting grant funds. Whereas the State Board of Accounts recommends that all grants applied for and to be received by the city be first reviewed and be subject to the approval of the Common Council of the City of Madison, Indiana. Whereas the City of Madison needs to renovate the second floor space of City Hall in order to provide office space for additional employees. And whereas the renovation project will be funded by grant funds not to exceed $15,000 from the National Trust for Historic Preservation and funds from the City of Madison not to exceed $30,000. Now therefore be it resolved by the Common Council of the City of Madison, Indiana, that the City of Madison is to accept the grant from the National Trust Historic Preservation National Trust Preservation Fund, and allow Mayor Courtney to sign the grant agreement on behalf of the city of Madison.
I know I'll invite Nicole up. She applied for that grant for us, and she can give you some more details or answer any questions you might have about it, but I believe she also included the actual grant agreement.
Yes, so you do have the grant agreement in your packets. It was actually a joint effort between Alyssa Foltz and I to apply for this grant. So we've applied to renovate part of the second floor, the area where on the outside, the blue bay portion of the building, the ceiling, walls, and floor. That's really all that this grant would cover. So there's more work to be done, but it's a start. And I'm happy to answer questions.
Just say thank you for applying for this. We are outgrowing the space, and we need to finish out some of the available space in the building.
So if we could get a motion and a second to approve?
I move to approve resolution 49-2021.
I'll second that.
Roll call vote. Is there any discussion on this? Okay, hearing nothing.
Okay. Rampy,
Yes.
Creech,
Yes.
Kavanaugh. Yes. Chatham
Yes.
and Barclay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Council. Council, are there any reports or recommendations or other business from the standing or select study committees of the City Council for today? Okay, hearing none. We'll move on to reports of city officials. We'll invite Hannah back up to talk about community relations.
Hello again. So you should have my report, because I handed it to you. Anyway, so last month we hosted the City of Madison 4th of July parade, the fireworks show, and we hosted the movies Madison and Monsters, Inc. We have 5 more upcoming movies in the park for this summer/fall, with the showing of The Sandlot this Saturday at Bicentennial Park. So that's always a good one. Last year that was really well attended. So hopefully you'll be able to join us for that. The cost of all these events that we host, I did the math in my office, $56,810 for all of these events, with $28,000 of that being the fireworks show. Luckily, we were able to cover around 90% of the cost of this through community sponsorships. So we have a lot of, the movies always get scooped up real quick. We got a major fireworks sponsor this year. We had parade sponsors, so just with the community help, we're able to support those events. In regards to our website, you all know that we launched a new website in March. It's constantly being updated. We're slowly working through all the department pages, all the board pages, everything to make sure information got transferred over from the past website. Like I said, some of our interns, they saved some flash drives where they downloaded information from the past website. But we have figured out there's a couple issues. I landed on a page that didn't work today, so we're working with our developers to make sure all those little things get fixed. They've been pretty responsive. There's one girl that doesn't know too much, but if we get the main guy, he's able to fix a problem in a day. So one of the issues we had was sharing out that we have an e-newsletter on Facebook and our website. People were able to fix that very quickly, which is nice. They updated their platform for reaching out for help, so it's been more streamlined. But if you all see anything that's missing from the website or any issues with the website or have a question, just shoot me an email. Say, hey, can you fix this or can you look at this? I'm happy to do it. In regards to transparency, one of the updates you'll actually see on our website is that now we have an embedded form from Constant Contact to sign up for our e-newsletter, which is going to be a monthly e-newsletter we send out. So people can just sign up by going to madison-in.gov/stay connected. All they have to do is plug in their email, hit submit. They're signed up for our e-newsletter and other event updates that we send from that platform. There's also, if they scroll down a little bit further on that page, other ways to stay connected, such as our links to our social media channels, and then there's a notify me link that they can click, which allows them to sign up for like oil water advisories, trash delays, street closures, those sort of things. We're gonna add some more features to that. If there's anything you suggest, just let me know. And lastly, the mayor asked me to mention Crystal Beach. So on Saturday and Sunday, we hosted an end of the season pool party at Crystal Beach. If anyone's interested, the Parks Department can pull those numbers of how many were in attendance both those days. I knew that on Saturday attendance was really low. I saw Katie there, and I was there. It was cold, it was rainy, and it was no fun. But anyone who attended on Saturday got a pass to come back on Sunday at no cost. They got a ticket for a free hot dog, and they got to enter our raffle. If they came back on Sunday, they obviously got in for free. They got another ticket for a free hot dog and got to enter the raffle once again. So I saw the raffle boxes when they came back to City Hall, and most people entered for the Crystal Beach season pass, which we didn't sell this year, and I can't confirm whether we're selling those or not. But it was a, hey, you're getting a season pass for Crystal Beach. So we had like tons of people that entered that. Everything that we had for the raffle was parks related to try and promote like everything in our parks. This end of the season event was a new event, and it was just kind of a, hey, we know we're ending the pool season early. Come celebrate with us, come have a good time. The reason we're ending this early is to prep the pool for construction. That's gonna be kicking off. There's gonna be renovation. It's made, we needed to have just time to clear out the pool and everything. Those renovations should start in August. Any questions?
I'll just mention something about Crystal Beach, but we had over 13,000 visitors in the 2 months at Crystal Beach for June and July, which were fantastic. And that's after factoring in a cold start and some rainy days in there.
And a cold end.
And a cold end. So it started Memorial Day weekend at about 55 degrees temperature and sort of ended at about 65 or so, but it was pretty chilly. But the pool is really, really well attended, and I can't be more anxious than anybody to get our major restoration project underway. And as she indicated, we are going through the process of officially closing the pool, the work we have to do in order to prep for our contractors to mobilize on site for a multi-million-dollar restoration with the plans of reopening the pool, the new Crystal Beach, and the new, definitely the new pool house, as well as the campus area we're renovating. And it'll be ready by Memorial Day 2022. Lots to do there. Did you talk about the e-newsletter?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I did.
Any
Sign
questions?
up at madison-in.gov/stay connected.
Yes. Hannah's really done a fantastic job on redesigning our webpage. The information that's on there, the optics of it's fantastic. It's easier to find information. So keep up the good job there. And I know that we're still migrating some old, minutes or agendas from other meetings into those pages, but we'll eventually get to them. Any questions for Hannah? Thank you. Okay, Tony Sorrells, talk about streets.
Good evening, Council. Got a few things
Tony,
here.
would you hit your mic, please? Thank you.
Good evening, Council. I've got a few things to report on. You should have a copy of this in your packet. I spoke with the DOC supervisor Monday, and we've had one officer that's been bringing the city crew down for years. He's on medical leave. I was led to believe when we come back from medical leave, we'll be getting the crew back. So hopefully 2 or 3 weeks, we'll be getting the crew back. Those girls, they've been missed. So grass is finally slowing down a little bit. That gives us time to do some other stuff that we've not been able to do. So that's a good thing. Everyone knows the Main Street project's going on. Things have been going really well. They've got both lanes finished from Jefferson Street to the railroad bridge. They'll be starting on the railroad bridge to the bridge at IKE this week. hopefully by the end of the week is what we're shooting for. It'll be done to the top of Hanover Hill. So far this year, or today, we picked up a little over 147 tons of flood debris from the Walnut Street area. And like the mayor said, Crystal Beach is now closed. We'll be working 2 or 3 weeks getting everything taken out of there for the contractors so they can get in and start doing their work. Flowers that were around there, the planters this year, tomorrow we'll be taking them to the campground and they can finish their life out there. That's all I've got.
Gonna beautify the campground.
Yep.
So Tony, I think Main Street coordination between you and Mindy and O'Meara has gone really, really well. I mean, way better than I really was anticipating. So good job on that, and much needed repairs on Main Street. We recently had a volunteer group do some cleaning on Hatcher Hill and painting and beautification at the campground. I don't know if you want to mention that or not, but I want to make sure we thank them for the work that they've been doing the last week and a half.
Yes, I can't figure this thing out. Colin Welch and some other friends of his, church members. I know a couple of them from out of state. They were doing some work, like the mayor said, down there for us. We appreciate it. We did some flower beds for us, painted the concrete structures at the campground, cleaned up Hatcher Hill for us. So we appreciate that. They're doing a good job.
I mean, I think that's just another example of how, caring and charitable our community is. We invite other groups that may want to adopt part of a park or some other area of the city to help us keep it clean, safe, and beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tony. And I believe Fire Chief Bill DeVries is here tonight. That's the fire department.
My fan group over here. Good evening. As you see in your all's packets, the department has responded to nearly 300 calls for service this year. We're really excited about our training program. Last year we launched an online training program, a platform that allows the department members to train when they're available. That's really helped a lot of our training hours to meet our training requirement for the state. So far we've logged almost 900 hours of training for the year, and it's just August is just not starting, which is usually about double from what we normally are this time of year. We've done 89 fire and building safety inspections, not including all the all the festival inspections that we perform. So those inspections are really important because those improve our ISO rating, which affect everyone's residential home owner's insurance as well as our commercial building insurance. So that's one of the things that we were really lacking last time we were reviewed by the ISO organization was our fire and building safety programs. So we're looking forward to the fall. As also in your package, you're going to see 3 classes that we're doing. Just applying for the class for the state is very laborious. The Department of Homeland Security has to approve all our classes. We have to submit syllabus, we have to submit instructor profiles, we have to submit everything before they will even let us do a class. So we're starting a hazmat awareness class, that's going to fold into an operations class, and then to a firefighter 1 class. So we're going to start offering a lot of programs to our 6 new members that we have on the department, hopefully to attract some more. We also open that up to all the county departments as well to come on and train with us. Also in your packet is our run statistics for the year, as well for each of our call types. Probably the thing I'm most excited about is we're working on the final planning stages of a 9/11 memorial ceremony on September 11th. This is the 20th year that those heroes lost their lives and called for service. So we're working with police, fire, EMS, and local elected officials and some state elected officials to put a program together. As things develop, we'll keep you all informed of that. So, any questions from the council?
Are you guys back to the home smoke detectors, fire alarm installations? You're back to doing that?
Yeah, we've been doing that for post-COVID. We've been back doing those in homes for about the last 8 or 9 months. You can actually get that information if you go to the city's website, which Hannah's done. It's really simple. Type in smoke detectors in the search tab, and it takes you right to that form, which myself, Travis Conover, which is our battalion chief in charge of fire prevention, and it goes to Hannah as well. So there's 3 actual hands that touch that to make sure those people get taken care of. Any questions? Okay. Thank you.
I just want to say thank you because I've said this before, when they're not responding to calls, they're training to respond for calls. And you can see here almost 900 hours of training year to date and almost 300 calls for service. And where did you recruit the 6 new members from? Just curious.
2 of them have been joined Station 1, 2 of them have joined Station 3, and 2 of them have joined Station 6. 4 of the recruits are husband and wife, so they're coming out of the same household. Station 6 recruits came from the signage they have out front as well as the signage from Station 3, and Station 1 was done by referral.
Oh. Good deal. Chief, thank you very much. Keep up the good job. We do not have any bills on third reading. Move to second reading. I'll turn it back over to Joe.
First one here is ordinance. First one here is ordinance number 2021-10, an ordinance of the Common Council of the City of Madison, Indiana, establishing the Public Arts Commission. And I had a couple of council members email me some proposed additions, and so if I might, I could just kind of read where those are, and if that sounds appropriate to you guys, then you could make a motion to amend and kind of go from there. The first one is section 33.181, section A, and at the end of that sentence, after mayor, it would say, and approved by the Madison Common Council. So the gist of that would be the Madison Public Arts Commission shall be composed of 5 members appointed by the mayor and approved by the Madison Common Council. And the second addition would be on section 33.184 under responsibilities, and we do need to correct the spelling there. But after section D, there would be a sentence that would be added that would say, the City of Madison Common Council shall approve all policies and procedures adopted by the Public Arts Commission, including but not limited to any guidelines, enforcements, and penalties. So tried to clean that up a little bit and allow what I think you guys had requested and intended. So if those sound accurate and appropriate, we can entertain a motion to amend the ordinance with those changes, amendments.
I move that ordinance 2021-10 be amended as read.
Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Do we have any questions or comments on those amendments?
I'll just state that those amendments were done in order to make this ordinance consistent with the Historic District Board of Review ordinance. So we do now have parity on how that process is managed with the public and how this process would be managed with the public. So I'm in favor of these changes.
Any other questions or comments from either the council or the public on those changes? Hearing none, if we could get a all in favor on the amendment?
Aye.
Any opposed? The amendments pass. So now, the ordinance is on second reading. Is there any comments from the council as it pertains to the ordinance as a whole with the amendments? Any comments from the public?
I would move that we suspend the rules and move on to third reading.
Okay. The sponsor of this ordinance is Councilman Bartlett, and he has moved to suspend the rules and move on to third reading. Is there a second for that?
I'll second that.
All in favor of moving on to the third reading?
Aye.
Any opposed? Ordinance moves on to third reading. I'll read it a third time. Ordinance number 2021-10, an ordinance of the Common Council of the City of Madison, Indiana, establishing the Public Arts Commission. We have a roll call vote.
Yes. Bartlett,
Yes.
Chatham,
Yes.
Rampy,
Yes.
Creech,
Yes.
Kavanaugh. Yes.
Thank you, council.
Okay, the next ordinance on second reading is ordinance number 2021-11, an ordinance of the Common Council of the City of Madison, Indiana, amending ordinance number 2015-3, floodplain regulations, and this is sponsored by Councilman Kavanaugh. Are there any questions, comments, additions, amendments to this ordinance from the council? Any questions, comments, additions, amendments from the public? Hearing none?
I would, I'll move that we suspend the rules and move this to third reading as it's mostly just an administrative change and there's no comment.
Moving on to third reading, it's ordinance number
Need a
21.
second on that?
Oh, yes, I'm sorry, need a second.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. So now it's on to third reading, ordinance number 2021-11, an ordinance of the Common Council of the City of Madison, Indiana, amending the ordinance number 2015-3, floodplain regulations.
Okay, let's go Creech,
Yes.
Kavanaugh. Yes. Chatham,
Yes.
Bartlett,
Yes.
Rampy.
Yes.
Thank you, council. Right, we don't have any miscellaneous items, so now's a section where we open it up to public comment. I would just ask those that are addressing the podium for council and the mayor's office, maybe identify your name and address and what your request is of council and the mayor's office. So we'll open it up to the public. See how we can help you.
I do right home with Mr. Lee here. I spent 8 years with him here. This is pretty awesome. I'm Dave Adams. I'm the old guy that's down on Mulberry, 516 Mulberry. I just want to brag about some wonderful things going on. Oh, excuse me.
Thank you, Dave.
Oh, I touched
Mike,
my button?
there we go, yep.
Here
There you go.
I'm on? Cool.
You're on.
Well, good evening, council. It's good to be with you again. Some great things going on over on Walnut, Mulberry, and East Street, and the park. I think we still got a couple families in motels. Got one that's looking for an apartment. We have one with a camper in behind the house so they can actually live there and work on their house. And I really appreciate the chief's help getting him down there. At that point, the husband went berserk and he was starting to hurt his family, so we arrested him. He's out of the picture, so the family's living in a camper. There's another group in a tent, kind of living right there, trying to fix their own houses up, but they're in good shape, they're working hard, and they're very upbeat about things. The other two, it's the Riverside Towers. We've got 3 veterans in there now. It's pretty awesome to have living downtown with this and that. I want to borrow Lisa. Meet Lisa. The neatest thing, you'll probably talk about it a little later, the oh, okay, I won't embarrass you. I got my bride of over 50 years and took her down to the Fairfield Marriott. And there was a party the night before. Some of these women were in it, and I don't know what, it took them a while to clean up. It was nice to be down there, but it's phenomenal. And Ron and Marlene Bateman, the gang, has done a phenomenal job of putting all that together. We had guests from out of town that were just amazing. They go to all the Marriotts, and this one is the best they've ever seen. The food service was good, everything. I had to mop floors and clean dishes for a while for my room, but it was really, really a great thing going on. So we're very, very, very fortunate to have that. I hope our community supports it.
So part of the golf cart experience now, when you live by the Arc Encounter, you would drive by and see all the different states that were represented. So every night at 10 o'clock, I'm like, we gotta take the golf cart and see what states are at the Marriott. It's like, this is what retired people do now, you know?
Great to see you there, so we appreciate all the work going into it. It's been a phenomenal thing going on.
Dave, thank you. Appreciate you. And I will talk about the cotton mill in just a few minutes, but he's right, it is fantastic. Anybody else? Paul?
Good evening, Council. I'm Paul Lee, and I live at 1033 West Main Street, and I recently moved downtown about a year ago to some new homes that were down there that were constructed. There's a lot of new goings on down on West Main Street, and that was one of the things that attracted my family there to. We've been lifetime residents here in Madison. We've always lived on the hill, and just recently moved downtown, and we really enjoy downtown, you know, the golf cart community, just everything Dave just talked about. But we have a new constructed home. Like I said, there's a lot of construction going on. Everybody that's building porches, balconies, refurbishing homes, you know, they all have to come and to the, you know, the Board of Works, which I presented earlier or yesterday, that you have to get permits for anything, carports, garages, shed, anything like that, any kind of construction or altering to a house. There's one gentleman that lives down there at 1037 West Main Street that has been working on his house for many years with no permits. He's been issued 3 stop orders. He consistently every day works on the house. He's added floor levels, changed the roof line. He's done construction to his yard that at 1035 they actually busted through his foundation and tore up a concrete patio and with an excavator doing this work. That gentleman has incurred right at $17,000 worth of damage. He actually contacted me today. They were finishing up the work there today, pouring concrete, and he contacted me. I was instructed to put cameras up at my house after I moved in there, and asked me if he could come over and review the cameras. This is more of a police situation, but he's had damage again from the same neighbor at 1037. The house that's on the west side, it's a bed and breakfast. Back in 2019, during this same excavation, damaged the foundation there and had to go through litigation and to be allowed to do the work. Not by the city, but from the owner at 1037 West Main Street. Every time a contractor would show up, he'd run them off. So that finally got finished up this week also. But I mean, we've moved downtown because we like the area, everything that's getting done down on that end of town. There's great things happening all over Madison. And we've got one bad egg that's destroying everything. I mean, it costs the residents here in Madison several thousands of dollars. It costs the city lots of money to handle this. Lost tax revenue, you know, because it's not getting assessed correctly. Different things like that. So I came down here and asked to guidance and help with this situation. I've been asked by many of the neighbors in that area to come down and speak. I have a whole list of addresses and names if anybody wants it. I don't want to bring it up, you know, right now. But it's a situation that needs addressed. It's been going on for many years, and I would like to see it addressed and whatever we can do.
Paul, thank you. You attended the Board of Public Works meeting yesterday, and thank you for bringing attention to the matter. It sounds like there's a couple things going on, neighbor disputes for sure, and then what you mentioned was work being done without proper permits after stop work orders have been issued. There is a process to that. Our city planner is here. I did talk to your city council person, Lucy Totillo, to make sure she was aware that you were here and what the issue was. I think you've also reached out to her.
Yes, I have.
Unfortunately, she's not here tonight, but there will be follow-up by her. And I also met with the building inspector. And so now it's we need to speak to our city attorney on additional actions on the stop work order. And you also mentioned something yesterday with regards to stolen electricity and maybe some intimidation, I would definitely encourage you to file a police report on those matters. Our chief of police is here.
Yes.
He can also help you. So it's a bit multifaceted, and we'll do everything we can to resolve the situation.
Yeah, there's a lot of the neighbors have been intimidated so much that they have either given up or afraid to come and do anything. And all of us have talked, and they've asked me to come and see, and be the representative,
Yeah.
basically. Lucy is obviously the city council. She's been very involved. She's very good. John Wallace has been involved. He's very good. I talked to the building inspector. He's new on the job. Very, very helpful.
Yeah.
And I know you guys are doing things, but I just want to bring it to everybody's attention and the public attention to what needs to happen. I mean, it's just something that really needs to be addressed.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you putting a voice to the problem. And like I said, there's multiple people that will be involved in this, and we'll get it resolved.
Thank you.
Thank you, Paul. Welcome downtown.
Thank you.
Okay, anyone else like to address the mayor's office or city council? Council's really hanging on to what I'm gonna say, I'm sure. I love this park. Well, there's a lot of great things going on around town, as Paul mentioned. Cotton Mill ribbon cutting was last week. If you haven't had a chance to stop by the Cotton Mill, it's worth a visit. Fantastic addition to our riverfront. The city of Madison, I characterize as a co-investor because of our economic development involvement in bringing that to fruition. And so I gave a report to the Redevelopment Commission earlier today about this, and they are nearing completion. I'm sure they only have some punch list items left to do. We're also working with the Ohio Theater, the Redevelopment Commission, and I'm happy to report that the work that the city has helped financially support has been completed, and that was basically stabilization work, roof repairs, facade repairs, repairs that will be impactful in preventing future damage because of the open roof and the fire that they had a few years ago. And this will allow the Ohio Theater and their board to really work more toward the final restoration plan and to reopen the theater on occasion for different types of events. So that was finishing up. City budget, we've already had one workshop. We're working toward another one, make some updates there. Last week we also awarded $175,000 in additional grants that we were provided through Okra with a city match for approximately, I want to say maybe about 14 or 15 small businesses. The stipulation there is they have to provide employment to low and moderate income households. And so we awarded $175,000 in grants to help alleviate the impact that coronavirus has had on our small business community. Tony had mentioned Main Street, and I briefly touched on it. So we are going through a process right now where we're doing some immediate repairs to Main Street all the way to the top of Hanover Hill. It's being done in a sequence, and will be completely wrapped up by Chautauqua. There'll be a break there because we don't want to be doing road construction during Riverfest, which is in just a few weeks. But Main Street will be having some modest repairs done to it, and that is literally just to extend the useful life to get us to 2025, 2026, when we are able to receive the $5 million federal highway grant that we've been awarded. Hannah mentioned Crystal Beach. I won't go into any more detail there, other than it was a good season, and we're looking forward to restoring that iconic pool in order to reopen it in time for the next swimming season. I will mention that COVID is making a reappearance in a somewhat significant way in our community. So over the course of the next couple of weeks, we'll also be reevaluating what our policies and procedures are to see if we need to do anything to address the reemergence of COVID and its impact on public health, and particularly our public meetings. So we'll we'll evaluate that and take the recommendations from the Jefferson County Health Department under consideration. This Saturday, there is a golf outing in support of the Light Memorial Boys and Girls Club at Sunrise Golf Course. So if anybody is interested in supporting the club and love to play golf, come up to Sunrise Saturday morning. We'll be having the golf outing in support of the Light Memorial Boys and Girls Club, which is, as you know, one of our oldest and most impactful youth organizations in the community. So we're happy to support them too. Lastly, I'll mention that, you know, a couple weeks ago or a week or so ago, there was an article in the Madison Courier in follow-up to the Human Relations Commission meeting, and I want to clarify that what was expressed there was that there were protections from the LGBTQ+ community that were eliminated from our fair housing non-discrimination ordinance. And after a follow-up meeting with several members of the HRC, we had demonstrated to them that the protections were still there. They were just moved. There was an amendment made to that ordinance at the request of our compliance manager for our COVID grants. But I believe we have rectified the misunderstanding, and council will look to see if any additional corrections need to be made to that ordinance so that we can not only reinstate protections if they were inadvertently removed, but also take a very, very comprehensive and global look at what our non-discrimination ordinance should be, and look at other models across the state. So I'm happy that that was rectified, and that we can just move forward from that issue too. Council, anything you'd like to share with the community? We had a bit of a modest agenda tonight, but it was a good agenda. Thank you for your work on both floodplain management and also the Public Arts Commission. I think both of those will have impact, and we continue to work with the Corps of Engineers on getting our scope of work in place for the risk management, flood risk management planning assistance that they're going to be providing. That's all for me.
I'll move for adjournment.
I'll second.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you. Thank you, guests. We really appreciate you being here. Mr. Lee, it was awesome to see you here, sir.
Don't let all those germs out there, buddy. Way they out of
Yesterday was the best
I thought Hannah.
Are we off over there, Mindy?
Not yet.